What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the real of reality TV. Candiace has been making the rounds, doing these interviews, and I like Candiace, but sometimes she just says things where it's like, girl, why did you say that? I don't know. I feel that some of these podcasts where they're doing these interviews, some things can just go to the left really quick. Now, although Candiace, I believe, is a very intelligent young lady, what she said when it comes to wanting to have children, but I'm just going to let you hear what she said.
And I'm like, your wife is...
Oh my God, no.
But that wasn't like a thing. That was just his thought.
Yeah.
And we moved past it. But like, no, one thing I will say, I do have a fear of having light skin.
Ooh.
I want my kids to be brown.
Yeah.
But they're probably not going to be brown.
Yeah.
And I'm like, becoming okay
you
with
might
it.
have a demo.
I will be very happy. I will, but I want my kids to be brown.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're not, it's fine. And I'm like...
All right, so we know Candiace, she's been on the journey of wanting to have children, doing the injections and all that other stuff, and talking about she wants a baby. Now, she's obviously married to a Caucasian. And so her being, I don't care how dark she would have been, her being the complexion that she is, the chances of her children coming out being brown are slim to none. Period. Anything can happen, but the chances of the complexion of the child coming out being brown are pretty much slim to none. Even though we know that two different complected African Americans, they can actually produce a lighter skinned child, but it's extremely rare, if ever. I don't know if it has ever happened for a melanated person to be with a non-melanated person and produce a melanated child. Yeah, they're going to have some melanin, but it's not going to be a whole lot. So I just felt like that was you can want what you want, but to say that, it just makes her seem just ridiculous. I don't even know another word for it right now. Now, a lot of people were coming for her in the comments section. I saw this on the Neighborhood Talk. And so they were like, girl, bye. You want brown kids but married a white man. Be for real. If you wanted brown kids, you should have been with a brown man. And someone else said, let a light-skinned person say they don't want a chocolate baby, though, and y'all are going to holler colorist and racism, which definitely is true. But that's also a thing. Some people get with non-melanated people to produce children that are not going to be very pigmented or very melanated. I don't know if you all used to watch the show Girlfriends, but if you remember Tony, the woman who played Tony, the character on the show, she was extremely melanated, darker complected. Not the most, she isn't the darkest, but there was an episode where they were going on blind dates, and she was someone that wanted a man that had a certain amount of money and status and all of those different things. And so on the list, the person that she wound up picking had all of those attributes, but I guess they didn't have anything on there about the complexion of the person's skin. The man wound up being an African that was extremely dark. And when she saw him, immediately she froze up and her facial expression was like almost of disgust. And then she was like, I'm good. And then when she had a conversation with Joan about it, and Joan was like, what is your problem? And she said, I want to have children, and I don't want to have children that are going to be picked on and that are going to be teased because they have dark skin. And I already have dark skin. So if I get with somebody who has much darker skin than I have, what do you think that child's chances are? And so she was like, I don't want to have children with someone that has dark skin. And then they showed her on the show getting married to a Jewish man, non-melanated, and she had her beautiful little child who did not have the pigment that she has. That happens a lot. A lot of people choose their mates that they want to have children with based on the complexion of that person and ensuring that they're going to have lighter skin kids. So that actually is a thing. A lot of people, they want to have lighter skin kids, and it is even promoted more so now. If you see television commercials now, or just commercials in general, it's also being, in my personal opinion, promoted of interracial relationships where it's mainly a melanated woman. I don't want to just say African American because not all of them are. It may be a Jamaican or whatever, but it's mainly a melanated woman with a non-melanated man. And then if they have children, then the children are all fair skin, curly hair, whatever. You rarely see the pigmented melanated man, melanated woman, melanated children. It happens every once in a while, but they're not really showing that much anymore. It's mainly a mixture. So look, this is the man that she chose to be with. I believe she loves him. I believe he loves her. She just has to be okay with the fact that her children are not going to be melanated like she is going to be. And that is happening all across the board. And in some ways, some people feel like it's by design, because when you look at television and you see commercials and you see shows where it's low-key being promoted, that's one of the reasons why they call it programming. Television programming the mind, programming the thoughts, programming the mindset. Okay. So it's possible that she needs to not be on a podcast talking about this to a podcast host and maybe speaking to her therapist about, was there even a reason as to why you chose to be with a Caucasian man? Was it just out of love, or was it out of some issues that you had growing up where you may have been teased because of your skin color? And it's okay to love yourself now, but did you always love yourself? And to be honest with you, unless that's something that is instilled in you as a child by your parents or whoever you were raised by, because of the way society is, most of us who are melanated can say growing up, we had at least once been teased or picked on or whatever because of our skin color. So I truly do believe her growing up, I believe she did grow up in the South, that was something that happened and it stuck. And so she subconsciously, maybe not on purpose, but maybe on purpose, I don't know, decided that when I get married, I want to be with a man who isn't as dark as I am. And then I'll feel more accepted. And then when we start having children, the children will be of mixed heritage and ethnicity, and they'll be lighter and their hair will be, listen, it happens. Again, I'm not saying that was her thought process, but I just believe that she should be speaking about this with a therapist versus a podcast host. Just my personal opinion. So anyway, guys, you let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Guys, thanks so much for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.